So this week's topic of Amuna Mondays was the transparency within honesty and trust. And before we begin, the class is dedicated to a couple names, so please have them in mind. It's in honor of Lule and Nishma for Yosef ben Devora, Gabriel Masauda bat Sarah, Sareen bat Mazal, and Yehuda Lev ben Harav Pinchas HaKohen. May all their neshamot have the ultimate aliyah. So the topic of the transparency within honesty and trust. I'm sure every single person has been, screwed over, whether in business, relationship, and, it just leaves a person, not feeling trustworthy towards others or looking at people like they're not honest. Like business is shady, relationships-wise, trust-wise, it's just off the charts. Like they're just not relating. It's a very tough concept to wrap around their head because of that fact. And a key thing and reason for all of that is because at the end of the day, it's like trust is something that once broken can never really be the same. It's not the same again. Yeah, you can trust them again, but you're not trusting them the same way. And a lot of people correlate trust and honesty like hand in hand, which, face value, 100%, very true. Humans to humans, very true. Somebody that you don't trust typically isn't honest, and somebody that isn't honest, you typically can't trust. So it seems like it goes hand in hand, it doesn't matter which way you put it, they correlate with each other. The thing is, it's not really true, because honesty, you can be a very honest person, right? And somebody that's not honest, you technically, and you don't trust. That's typically how it goes. But as for trust goes beyond honesty. Trust doesn't just go with, this guy's an honest person. Okay, but I don't know him. I don't know this person. So at the end of the day, I don't trust him. Trust comes with knowledge. Honesty is just someone being honest. Okay, typically a person that has honesty, you can trust, but one doesn't immediately mean the other. Honest does not mean trust. Honest can lead to trust. I think it's a step before. It's a step before trust comes honesty. If the person isn't honest, then typically you won't trust them. But just because you trust them doesn't make them honest. The friendship can go beyond something, It's like a car salesman. You walk into a car dealership, it turns out you have a friend there. You're probably just going to go straight to the friend. Hey, sell me a car. At the end of the day, he is your friend, but he's also a car salesman. Car salesmen typically are sleazy. So it just goes hand in hand. You have to understand the fact that one does not mean the other. But we live in this generation and society where 2 times 3 equals 6 and 3 times 2 equals 6. Same thing. In our mind, a person sees that, it's the same thing. What does it matter? Right? The end result's the same thing. Who cares? It's just technicalities. Who cares? When in reality, our way that we trust is a lot different than the way God trusts. The way we trust as humans, 3 times 2, 2 times 3, same thing. In Hashem's eyes, it's not the same thing. Very picky. It's not the same thing, because 3 times 2 and 2 times 3 are not the same thing. Yes, they equal the same thing, but the process is significantly different. And that's an important thing to understand, is when it comes to Hashem, the process is more important than the result. The result, like we just explained, can be 10,000 different things. 5 plus 2, 2 plus 5, 3 plus 4, 4 plus 3. They all equal the same thing. They all equal 7. So, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. It's not the same thing. If it's all the same thing, what's the point of saying 2 plus 3, 3 times what's the difference of switching the equation up if it's going to equal the same thing? It's because the process is significantly different. One, you're multiplying 3 2 times. The other one, you're taking 2 and multiplying it 3 times. That's a whole nother step. In God's eyes, that counts to something. If you told him one thing, he's counting on that one thing. It's not, but Hashem, I told you I would pray to you 3 times a day for 2 days, and I missed it, but so I did 2 times for 3 days. It's not the same. You went against the agreement. And when you understand that is exactly how honesty is built. If you're not sticking to your word, you're not an honest person. When you become an unhonest person, you're not trustworthy. When a person loses that connection with God, that's strictly on their own end. It's not because God promised them anything. Hashem does not owe you anything. And on top of that, we live in a generation that's very big on compensation. Right? I order something. It doesn't come the exact way I expected it to come. I want to be compensated. There's nothing wrong with the item. There's nothing wrong with this. Okay, it came a day later. No, I want compensation. I want a refund. Give me something. $20 credit, $10 credit. Give me something. I want something. That's the generation, that's the society we live in. When in reality, that's not how life works. You came in, you don't like the service, you don't like the way it is. Okay, keep what you have. You paid me already. You did business. Just don't bring your business back to me again. No problem. I'm not compensating you. I'm not giving you more than what you initially had. Like, well, that just doesn't make, where does that make sense? Why am I going to lose? Because delivery or something. Like that plays no role. But yet that's the generation we live in. We want compensation for things. And then same thing with God, it's like, oh, I wanted to get married at blank age. I didn't get married, so now I want to get married with this, and this house. Who are you? What? Pipe down, calm down over there, buddy. You're getting a little ahead of yourself. Nothing was promised to you. Just because you made a deal with God, oh, I want to be 23 and this. And now you're past 23, now you're adding to the deal because, oh, Hashem didn't hold up his end. It's not how life works. Who says you held up your end? Just because, again, you said blank, doesn't mean your initial agreement that you made with God went as planned. Maybe you tweaked it 3 times 2 and instead you made it to 2 times 3. And in your mind, 6, I did this. No, that's not the agreement. Understand, honesty goes very deep. It's a super important thing. A person that isn't honest, you can't trust them. You can't. As much as you say you trust them, if they're not honest with you, you can't. That's why communication is a massive thing. Transparency is a massive thing. Transparency plays a massive role in honesty. It's like, oh, you didn't ask, so I didn't tell you. You're not an honest person, because an honest person would have been very forthcoming, would have been very transparent. People think, oh, I'm an honest person, I didn't lie. Yeah, but you didn't tell the truth either. They love these little technicalities. They love operating on very thin rope. That's not how life works. When you're transparent, you're honest. If a person that is transparent is typically honest. A person that's typically honest is trustworthy. There's steps to it. You can't skip one step and then try to claim another. It just doesn't work that way. So that's a key thing to understand is they all align with each other and there's no tweaking them. God doesn't tweak any of them. So why would you not want him on your side? When it comes to regret and it comes to getting a person back, typically what happens is when a person screws you over in business, chances are, very high chances, they were screwed over in business. You're simply part of the process in their mind. They're like, I went through the process, I got screwed over, so you know what, I'm at this point now, hey, this guy's got to serve his time, he's got to get screwed over too. It happens to all of us. It happened to me, it happens to him. He'll get over it. And then boom, the domino effect keeps going and it keeps going. When in reality, the way to go about it is, just because you got screwed over, you leave it up to God. You don't need to talk to the guy. You don't need to shame the person. You don't need to no, he tweaks the agreement you guys had. It's like, all right, go with it. Go with it. Why? Because what's getting him back? What's raising your voice? What's getting mad at him? What's planning a way back to, like what is that? It's not going to do anything but turn you into the same villain that you're claiming him to be. You're just becoming him. You're just going to switch roles. So why? Leave it up to Hashem. Hashem keeps track of every single thing. Nothing goes undetected in Hashem's eyes. It may seem like it, but that could just be part of the strategy. At the end of the day, Hashem is extreme. There's nobody more calculated than Hashem. Nothing more calculated than God. God sees everything. At the same time, he's very, very fair. And that goes beyond what we understand as fair. Oh, how did this person, this become this person? We don't know. It's not our job to know. We're not the judge. It's important to leave it up to God. So in this week's topic, again, the topic was the transparency within honesty and trust. That's a wrap for it. Again, it's in honor of Lulei Nishma for Yosef ben Devorah, Gabriel Masawi de Bat Sarah, Serene Bat Mazal, and Yehuda Leib ben Harav Pinkas Hakon. May all their neshamot have the ultimate aliyah. See you next week.